It says we're live.
I'm gonna assume that's true.
Yeah. And I'm like, guess where I am? Guess where I am? I just said to Siobhan, okay, can you see the lake?
Yeah, well, you're right up close to the water.
Oh yeah, right at the water's edge. It would not be safe to do this here in New England if it was the beach because the beach has too much stuff happening. But a quiet lake, that's different. Anyway, I was just saying to Siobhan, hi everyone, I'm Catherine, and this is Siobhan, and we're here. What's new and coming up with lipedema? But anyway, I was just saying to Siobhan, I can't believe, given the lifestyle that I've lived, which has been a really active, traveled a lot, just to, I mean, I have these flashbacks and just thinking of running around and packing bags and getting to the airport on time. And I don't know, just, I mean, thank God it was before things got really bad traveling. But anyway, that I could be so happy sitting on the deck, just hanging out and talking to you guys, which is what I'm planning to do for the rest of my life. Wait, a
Yeah,
storm starting,
Sandra.
not be able to stay on long. Sandra, where's here? Where are you? Are you in the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, if you are watching, and I do know some of you are, go ahead and put in the chat where you're from. Say hello, say whatever you want, how the weather is, just so we know that you're there and you're listening and you're having fun. And Marilee said, greetings from the misty Pacific Northwest. I like mist, that's fun.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It yesterday was we had um, rain, pouring rain.
Oh, Sandra said she is in Western Kentucky.
Oh yeah, you guys are getting tornadoes.
Ooh, that's always fun.
Yeah, nope, not for me. Anyhow, we're here to talk about lipedema, but we're also here to talk about whatever.
To check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing, what's new and up with you guys as well, is part of this whole thing.
Oh,
Um,
wow, Patricia from the Bay Area, and Karen from Michigan, and Jesseline from LA. Wow, Monica, Maryland, Miriam from Albuquerque, one of my favorite places. Jenny from the Isle of Wight in the UK, a small little island. Jenny, I emailed you. I emailed you a Zoom link. After we're done with this, get on Zoom and I'll give you a tutorial.
awesome. I think Catherine just froze, but I will say that we have a lot going on right now, which we definitely want to talk about. So, in just a couple of weeks, it is going to be June, which, for those of you who are new or haven't participated in June before, June is Lipedema Awareness Month. So, we usually do something for Lipedema Awareness Month. Just to get people talking, to help spread awareness, to get people involved in the community. And this month we're going to be doing something really fun involving our book. So, do you want to talk a little bit about that, Catherine?
Oh, yes. Our book, our textbook, Lipedema. Oh, I have to show the textbook. I think everything is working now. I had some trouble with my computer last week, so not everything was working right. But I do think it's working now. So let me just show you. I'm like a show me person.
Yes, and for those of you who aren't aware, our textbook is coming out later this year. It's going to be in October. And it will cover, I would say, pretty much everything that we know so far. So, not everything we need to know about lipedema, but everything we know so far in terms of, the basics, diagnosis, treatment, the holistic model, manual lymphatic drainage, the obesity component, tons of different things spanning a whole bunch of different topics, and we have a couple dozen authors working on it. I have written a chapter with Dr. Matt Carmody, and finally got it done and turned in, which is exciting. But you can see it here: Lipedema Principles and Practice of Diagnosis and Treatment. And then Catherine, Leslyn Keith, and Stanley Roxon are the editors of the book. But like I said, we have a couple dozen authors on it.
Yeah, unbelievable. And this is so exciting. Number 39 in medical diagnosis, which is when you think of how many books are on Amazon, which are, hundreds of thousands, it's amazing to be
Mm-hmm.
in the two digits. That's because people are buying, pre ordering.
Yes, and I was just about to mention that you can actually pre-order the book now. So it is available on Amazon. You can see for a discounted price, and it'll be released October 14th of this year. So it may seem like a long ways away, but before you know it, we'll be there, and this book will be out. And we've already heard from some people who said that they're buying multiple copies, one for themselves and then one for their physician or their lymphatic therapist or whoever they're working with for their lipedema. So this is going to cover a lot of topics, and I think it's going to be really, really useful for people. This is something that a lot of people have wanted for a long time. I know you, Catherine, said that this is, you wish you had had this when you were first diagnosed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And Stacy said it doesn't look like it's available in Amazon Canada.
Yeah, it's because it's on the pre-order.
Okay.
It'll, yeah, they, I think they have to limit it. Let me check with the publisher. The publisher that's our publisher is in London, which is so fun. She's so wonderful. Anyway, so I'll be meeting with her next week, and I'll find out about other places. Um, I think something that's important is, as we were brainstorming the book, it actually turned into three books. So we're not publishing just one book, we're publishing three books. And we're doing that for a very specific reason. The first book that we just showed you is for clinicians. It is, I mean, as a patient, I would have purchased it in an instant and consumed it overnight, because it has that much good information in it. But its purpose is directed towards a more clinical approach. So we said we need something really accessible. So the chapter that lesson that Siobhan and Dr. Carmody did was on the holistic approach, which is what we use day in and day out here at Lipedema Simplified. And they did an absolutely brilliant job. And when we read it, we said, oh my God, this is the handbook. So we are in the process of taking the work that they've already done and adapting it and putting it into a handbook for clinicians and patients that goes through, you know, the diagnostic process and the treatments, what they are, why they're important, why you may be interested. Um, Too many things at once.
Yeah, and what you can do about it essentially as a clinician. So it's kind of interesting because there will be two books for clinicians, and the big difference is one is super in depth. So if there's a physician who's like, I want to specialize in this, I want to be a lipedema clinician, I need to know everything about it, what's recommended, all of this stuff, then that is this first book. So it's tons of detail. It's very thorough. It covers a whole span of huge topics. So that's number one. Number two is the second book that'll be coming out. That will be the Physician's Guide, and it's still for clinicians, but it's more like if you're a clinician who's maybe like a general practitioner, you're going to have clients who have lipedema because it's not rare, and you probably already have them, and you just need to know in a very, very accessible way that doesn't overwhelm, doesn't send you down like several hours of rabbit holes. They come in with this issue. How do I recognize it? How does that fit into this model? And how can I help them? What's the immediate first step? What kind of things can I ask them to identify what it is and then know what kind of resource that they need? And then also, how do they diagnose? So we have the case definition, the framework that talks about like, here's kind of what we think to diagnose for research purposes, but clinicians need really detailed explanation on how to do this and how to evaluate it. So how do you palpate? Where do you palpate? What are you looking for? What kind of questions do you ask in order to determine if they have current or historical pain? All that kind of stuff. So all of that is going to be in the Physician's Guide. It'll be their go-to. They could keep it in their office. They can flip through. Okay, here's the page I need. So it'll be very aimed at that exact scenario, very practical, I would say.
And so we are, so we're coming down the home stretch on the textbook. I'm in the midst of finishing up some of the edits, and Dr. Roxon is going through in less than, and it's going to the publisher in a week or two. And we're like, well, let's see. Do you think we could get the handbook done? So we are shooting for, we cannot guarantee it, but we're going to try and get the handbook done so people can get it as a bundle. You can get the textbook and the handbook together in some kind of publisher's special something. She
Yeah.
said she would do the publisher. So we'll see. But
And
anyway,
so with all of that introduction, I don't think we even covered what we're doing in June. So what we're doing in June with all of that background context is we're going to be doing interviews with the authors from the textbook. So there's tons of work that goes into these chapters, but there's so much more information that doesn't make it in, and just follow-up questions that people may have. And these are all specialists in their own field. So we have ketogenic diet specialists. We have like all sorts of stuff. We have Dr. Carmody talking about diagnosis and things like that. So it'll be really nice to have these interviews and just get to know who the author is, and why they decided to write about what they did in their chapter.
yeah. And mostly people write chapters. A chapter in a book is like the tip of an iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually a person's research history, their work that they do, the focus that they have with their research and their exploration on a particular topic. So it's usually so rich, just so, so rich. And book number 3 isn't going to come out in the fall. The textbook and the handbook is. The third book is for patients. It's called The Voices of Lipedema, and it's our stories and what we've learned, and really what I think is the most important piece, which is the resilience that we have developed and how we've been able to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what makes all the difference in the world to me.
Yeah, and Christine asked a good question, which is the interviews will be done in what format?
They're going to
Webinars,
be
live events?
Facebook Lives.
Yeah, so it'll be just like this in this kind of format. So if you're not already following our page, go ahead and do that so that you can get notifications on upcoming live events. So those will be done through Facebook Live, and then if you do that, you can get a little notification, and then come and join for the live.
We keep getting um, the internet keeps going, and we keep losing people. If we lose you, it's the internet. Sorry about that.
Hmm.
But so you want to be able to catch some of the authors. We have a conference coming up, a congress in September, which will feature a number of the authors and some other people as well. Um, but so there's lots of opportunities. But the bottom line is, knowledge is power, and that's what we're here to do, to empower you, so that you
Yes.
can live your best life. Like mine is hanging out on the deck.
Yeah, so all of this is, I mean, this is the cool thing is that you can come into a community, or in Catherine's case, build up a community, and figure out what people need to move forward. And I think these books are part of what people need to move forward because there's not really anything that exists like this yet, where a doctor can be like, I just need to know, you know, I just need to know the, not really the basics, but a general overview so that I can know, okay, this is what it is, here's what I do about it, here's what I can send you to, or here's what I can do for you. And so you can make things, you can just do things, and then they will exist in the world when they didn't before.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And it's remarkable. Welcome, Michelle. Michelle just jumped on. She said she's watching from LA.
Yep,
Um,
and we also have Terry from San Antonio as well, so I wanted to make sure to say hello.
oh, good. And the last thing we want to talk about today is tomorrow. Um, Hetty Pugh is she does guided meditations for our conferences. She'll come in and do a 3 or 4 minute little meditation, usually somewhere in between our speakers, and it's always wonderful, and people love it. And so she put together a class. It's called Momentum. Oh, I should get the link. Let me get the link. It's called Momentum, and it starts tomorrow. It's only this weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it's really about, well, here, let me read it. Let me share it with you and then I'll read it. Oh, nope, this isn't it. This is the free webinar. Okay, we had a webinar to talk about it, but I'm looking for the sign up. You know what? I can't find it. So it's about creating a momentum for yourself. Sometimes we get stuck. I don't know. Maybe you don't. I do. I do more frequently than I'd like to admit.
I think
And
everybody does at
yeah,
some point.
yeah. And it's this feeling of, what do I do? How do I move forward? Well, that's what momentum does. Takes us and moves us. Okay, I'm looking for a funnel. I don't know if I can find it. Here it is.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
found it.
perfect.
That's the webinar. Here it is. I found it. Oh my God. How about that? Sometimes. Okay. You know what? It doesn't matter. You'll get the idea. Here's some. Here is my screen. There it is.
Yep, there we go.
And this was me for the free webinar. That's not. I'll be there, but I'm taking the class. This is Hetty. It's really about reclaiming your power, your dreams, and your momentum, and taking things one step at a time. How do you set the goal for yourself? And we're in this together. You're not on this journey alone. So you're ready to feel more empowered and in control of your journey. Okay, now all I need to do is find the link to how people would sign up if they wanted to sign up. So,
I'm
okay.
guessing if people are interested, they can email support to get the link
Yes.
to it.
Yeah, that's good.
Let me see.
Oh, Erica needs a New York City doc. I usually recommend, oh my God, what's your name? Give me a second, I'll think of it. Oh, good, that's perfect. I Love My Body is a song. How can I share it with you? Email it. Email it to Siobhan and I. Our emails, mine is Catherine at lipedema-simplified.org. Siobhan's, I'll let you put yours up, Siobhan.
Yep. It is Siobhan at Lipedema Project. I have it here somewhere. I just saw it.
Yeah, .org.
Yeah, lipedemaproject.org.
Dr. Stopani, greetings from Argentina. I'm a plastic surgeon based in Buenos Aires.
Oops.
Bu- Buenos, how do I say Buenos Aires? Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires, I think.
Buenos Aires. And I treat patients with lipedema. Ah, congratulations. Thank you, Dr. Stefani. Thank you for treating patients. Um,
Yeah, it's always nice to see new practitioners popping up,
yeah.
um, especially specialists, because as we talked about during the event, if you do feel like surgery is part of your journey, we do recommend specifically finding someone who specializes in lipedema, who has good training on it, who has lots of experience, good knowledge on it. So the more of those we have, the easier it is for people who'd like to seek out surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then Erica, so if you're looking for a New York doctor, it depends on what type of doctor you're looking for. If you're just looking for someone who can overall support you, has knowledge on lipedema, understands lipedema, one I would recommend is Dr. Tro Kalajian. He's actually out of New Jersey, um, but he is licensed in all 50 states. And I imagine you could go over to his clinic from New York. I've been there at least once a few years ago. Um, but he does know about lipedema. He's in contact with us generally. He's knowledgeable on low carb if you wanted to explore that for lipedema, but also he's aware of the conservative treatments. He can give referrals to manual lymphatic specialists and things like that. So he's a really good choice in his practice generally. He's an obesity specialist, but he focuses on holistic approaches. So it's a really good match. And there's not just him. There's also Laura Buchanan and a couple other options. Um, so there are a couple people to choose from.
And there, um, Michelle also wanted to know what day is this. I'm assuming you want to know what day Momentum is. Momentum is Saturday and Sunday, over the next 2 days. It's a weekend course, but she sets it up so that we're working together, I think, for a month or something like that, maybe 8 weeks. I don't even know. I just signed up for it because I'm ready. It's as simple as that. I'm ready. Okay. I think we covered everything.
Yes, and Michelle, it is on Zoom. So go ahead and reach out to us at support@lipedema-simplified.org, and we will get you the link to the sign up in case you're interested. Um, and yeah, I think that about covers it for this week. But believe you me, we have a ton of other stuff going on, and we will keep you updated every Friday, unless something else comes up. There's an event or something going on. But pretty much every single Friday throughout the year, we will be here updating you on what's going on, and all that good stuff. But I think that about wraps it up for this week. But definitely stay tuned. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Follow our page if you're watching on Facebook. And yeah, do all those things.
And somebody asked for the website. I put up lipidemassimplified.org.
Hmm.
There's lots of info there, and you can reach Siobhan, me, any of the staff. But always just drop us an email, and we'll do whatever we can to help.
Yeah.
And
Send the song that you made through email, and we will take a listen to it and go from there.
sounds wonderful. All right. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody.
Enjoy
Have a
your weekend.
wonderful whatever morning, afternoon, evening. And I'm going to hang out by the lake.